In Russia, where community bonds are stronger than steel, husbands maintain the ancient tradition of allowing their wives to serve strangers all night. This fact has caused both excitement and debate. Russia contains one of the most mysterious and isolated corners, Chukotka. President Putin once said that Russia's future is here. Chukotka is not only rich in gold, but is also home to unique tribes with distinct cultures. Most notable is the custom of husbands allowing their wives to sleep with guests or rent them out to show hospitality. Stay until the end of the video to discover the 10 strangest facts about Chukotka. Number 10. The custom of women to sleep with strangers and the beauty of women. Chukotka, one of the most remote regions of Russia, has a unique and intriguing tradition. Eskimo women can sleep with strangers, but only with their husband's consent as a gesture of hospitality. This practice, rooted in ancient customs, reflects both cultural norms and the harsh realities of Arctic life. Inuit women in Chukotka are known for their endurance and health. They often take on the role of men as breadwinners. They deeply respect their women and see them as strong and resourceful, so they rarely marry outside their ethnic group during the long winters that can last up to 8 months. The relationship dynamics are especially significant. The tradition of women sleeping with strangers persists not out of desire, but due to harsh natural conditions. These women often give birth to many children, although unfortunately not all survive the harsh environment. Sharing wives with other men is not uncommon among the Inuit. Historically, short-term wife rentals were practiced where a hunting man could take to a wife to be presented for the trip. Sharing a wife is a sign of respect, and rejection is considered a lack of respect towards her husband and family. Widows are even more encouraged to sleep with strangers, and if they become pregnant, everything the people celebrate. This practice helps mitigate the problems of a closed community, such as the health problems of incestuous relationships and the difficulties of raising a child in extreme conditions. The Eskimos have a relaxed attitude towards sex with women of all ages, social status, and appearances. They receive love and admiration. The concept of virginity is non-existent. A woman who is a virgin simply means that she has never been with a man. The more children a woman gives birth to, the older she is the joy for everyone. So what is it about Eskimo women that makes that your men are so proud and willing to share them with the guests? Eskimo women often have fuller bodies with a higher percentage of body fat, which helps insulate against harsh weather conditions. Their almond-shaped eyes protect them from the glare of snow and bright sunlight, and their skin tones are brown. Medium to clear provide natural protection from the Arctic environment. Living in harsh conditions fosters a strong sense of community and mutual support. Their lifestyle closely linked to nature, and traditional practices include activities such as fishing, hunting, and craft making. However, modern influences have also been integrated into their lives, creating a balance between tradition and contemporary life. Here is an impressive feature of women and women's health here that will surprise you. Number 9. Women enjoy piercings and are often stronger than men. Body piercings are a common tradition in Chaka and among some Native American tribes in North America. Similar jewelry has been discovered in Kamchatka. Many visitors in the first half of the 20th century also noted the custom of Inuit women to wear hats made of mammoth or walrus skin. The Inuit have lived for centuries in harsh conditions, fighting daily for survival. This has shaped their attitudes towards women. Asian and American Eskimo men always choose strong and tough women to marry thin and weak women. Number 8. The most remote and sparsely populated place in Russia, Chaka, the easternmost border of Russia, is a land of astonishing beauty and profound isolation. This remote region, filled with vast gold mines and rich indigenous cultures, promises to captivate any traveler. President Putin once declared that Russia's future is here, and it's easy to see why. Covering more than 700,000 square kilometers, Chukotka is home to only 50,000 people. Kamchatka's climate is marked by frequent storms and long periods without sunlight. Siberian hunters from Central and East Asia were the first inhabitants, and today, the indigenous people maintain their traditions despite the disruptions of the past Soviet era, with immense potential for ecotourism and adventure tourism. Number 7. Chukotka is also the only part of Asia that is located in the Western Hemisphere. The history of Chukotka is fascinating and full of intrigue. This remote region in the far northwest of Russia has been inhabited for over 1,000 years by the indigenous Chukchi and Eskimos people. Its history is marked by its geographical isolation and its struggle to preserve its unique culture amid foreign influence. For centuries, the Chukchi and Eskimo have lived in harmony with nature, hunting and fishing to survive in an environment as hostile as it is beautiful. However, The arrival of the Russians at the beginning of the 17th century brought with it a radical change in the way of life of these indigenous people. Colonization brought disease, war, and cultural oppression that threatened the survival of Chukchi and Eskimo traditions. Over the centuries, Chukotka has witnessed great political and social changes. During the Soviet era, the region witnessed intense industrialization and collectivization that had serious consequences for the local population. Many Chukchis and Eskimos were forced to abandon their nomadic traditions and adapt to a more sedentary, government-dependent lifestyle. Today, Chukotka remains a unique and impressive region, with a rich culture and ancient traditions that refuse to disappear. Despite the challenges and difficulties they have faced throughout their history, the Chukchis and Eskimos of Chukotka continue to fight to preserve their identity and cultural heritage. Their story is a reminder of the resilience and strength of indigenous people in the face of adversity. Number 6. Winter in Chukotka lasts up to 10 months a year. Winter in Chukotka is relentless. It is a time when nature shows all its strength and beauty, but also its harshness. Temperatures drop below 0 degrees. The wind blows strongly, and snow covers everything in its path. The days are short and the nights are endless, plunging the region into a darkness that seems to have no end. In this inhospitable scenario, the inhabitants of Chukotka are forced to adapt to a harsh and sacrificial way of life. Hunting and fishing are essential for their survival, as food shortages in winter make it difficult to get fresh food. Long distances and harsh weather conditions make travel difficult, so life in Chukotka becomes a constant fight against inclement weather. Number 5. Since Soviet times, Chukotka has been a closed region. To visit it, a special permit is required not only for foreigners, but also for Russian citizens living in other regions. Number 4. Chukochi artisans make incredible carvings of walrus tusks, which are highly valued by collectors around the world. The skill of carving walrus tusks is simply extraordinary. These artists are able to transform a piece of ivory into a true work of art, creating delicate details and intricate designs in each piece. The skill and precision required to carve these tusks requires not only technical skill, but also a deep respect for the raw material and a love for the art itself. Number 3. Local residents can hunt whales, although whaling is banned worldwide, including in Russia. Whale meat constitutes between a third and half of the diet of the inhabitants of Chukotka, who adhere to the traditional way of life. Number 2. The Chukotka Sea has an area of 5,000 square kilometers, an average depth of about 77 meters or 253 feet, and is characterized by its shallow waters. Number 1. The Chukchi Sea is home to a tenth of the world's polar bear population. About half of America's polar bears, about 2,000 animals, live in the Chukchi Sea. These predators depend on sea ice to hunt, rest, and reproduce. In recent years, the ice has been receding, especially during the summer, causing polar bears to establish their dens in coastal areas. Did you know this region? Well, subscribe and activate notifications so you don't miss any of these curious facts about these magical places. We recommend that you watch our video about a country where nudist culture is highly regarded and in fact has the largest nudist beaches.